Hi, this is just a brief tutorial to help you with some image editing techniques that you can use for product photos on your e-commerce stores. So here's some basics that might give you a hand at making them look a little better. So one of the first things you'll want to do is of course use an image editor. For those of you out there who don't necessarily have one, that would do the trick. One that I like to visit that is web-based is a site called Pixlr.com. Pixlr.com, and it's a nice little simple and free tool that you can use to doll up your pictures a little bit. Once I get to their home page, I pick the Pixlr editor and I click the button to launch the web app. This one here is probably the best one for editing some of these images. And then once here, I'm presented with a few choices, and today I'm just going to open an image from my computer, a product image. So here I have a metal detector. I'm going to go ahead and open this, and you'll notice this metal detector is actually a JPEG. And so some of you guys out there might want to cut around or cut out this image so that it has a transparent or clear background. But you're going to notice that JPEGs, no matter what you do, will never have a transparent background. They'll have either a colored background or, in this case, a white background, and it always creates some type of background, just the way JPEGs are. So this is what I have the image in, so how can I cut it out and make it transparent? Well, let's go ahead and open the photo and I'll show you a couple of tools that'll help you do that. Now Pixlr, what I'll do is I'll click this expand box so that the image fills the center. I can zoom in or zoom out using this tool to the top right. And then by default, when you open an image in Pixlr, the image is locked to editing, and you'll notice in this layers box there's a little padlock here, and that tells me that nothing I do to this image will work. So the first thing I'll need to do is double click the little padlock so that it frees the image up for editing. So now that it's ready for editing, go over to your tools section, and one of the handiest tools you're going to find is this little thing we call a wand. A little stick with a sparkly thing at the end. We'll click this, and once it's active, this tool will select colors that are similar to the spot that I click on. So if I click this darker black area, it's going to select where I click and anything adjacent to it, which you can see there. If I push the delete key, it removes that area. Now in this case I don't want to do that, but let's go ahead and undo that, and I'm going to click in the area of the white. You can see how it's nicely highlighted around, and if I hit delete, there it goes and deletes. As you can see, I can do that with all the white areas, highlight and delete. Pretty simple, rather than manually cutting out or erasing all the way around. But just to show you something, let me undo all this. And now that since I have an area that's highlighted, and you can see by these little moving dotted lines, the only way you can use the other tools is if you click outside the area of the picture once, and that deactivates any of the wand tool highlights. So now if I wanted to, I could click the other tools. If I don't do that and I have this highlighted and I try to click on some of these other tools, they don't work as they're intended to. Like in this case, it's not really what I wanted. So just a quick little tip: whenever you're working with the wand tool and you have an area highlighted, make sure you click the wand tool, make sure it's active, and click outside the box, just so there's nothing highlighted. Okay, so I'm going to show you something here with the wand tool that sometimes you may not notice. And the question is, how close to the edge does it cut? So I put a layer in the background, and I'm going to just create a black box behind there, just so we can illustrate how close to the edge it cuts. I'm going to make sure it's there, and it is. Okay, so I'm going to get my wand tool, click the white area, and hit delete. I'm going to click outside just so I can see. Now you notice the edge is a little dirty. Since I'm putting it on a white type of background or a white website, won't make much of a difference. But if I undo this and play with this tolerance level and raise it higher and then click in here, you'll notice it deleted all of the white edge, but also started bleeding into the lighter colors that were in the detector. So your tolerance level will lead you closer or not to the edge.